Hey everyone, so I want to talk about my most recent emergency room visit and my episode of SVT, which is supraventricular tachycardia. Now, this has never happened to me before, and just a little history on me if you haven't watched my videos. I'm in my 30s and I have sinus tachycardia, which means my heart might beat like 110 or so. Really not doing much. That just happens. And I also have PACs and PVCs, which are premature atrial and ventricular contractions. So I have those, and I have anxiety too. But usually my anxiety is caused by like whenever I feel these palpitations. So, anyways, about 3 weeks or so ago, I woke up. Now, I don't know if I woke up and this just happened or this woke me up, but my heart was beating way faster than it normally was. And like I wasn't feeling any kind of anxiety or anything, but of course that gives you anxiety. So I tried to catch my breath, and I tried not to worry about it. And then my pulse was going so fast I could barely take my pulse. It was that bad. So like I said, I've been dealing with anxiety for so many years. I kind of know the drill by now. I know whenever it's, for the most part, I know whenever it's anxiety, when I can control something, when I can't, and when it might be a medical thing. So I was convinced, and rightfully so, because this was not anxiety. And I'll tell you how I know that in a minute. But it I got really, really scared. So, of course, I called 911. And I don't call 911 normally. Back in 2010, whenever all this stuff was going on, it was pretty bad. I had to call 911 a few times. But I have not called 911 in a very long time. And I never called 911 because I thought it was anxiety. It was always because I genuinely thought something was wrong with my heart. So the 911 operator told me to take my pulse, and I did, and it ended up being 220 per minute. So of course that was terrible. And an ambulance came, and they did it, I believe, an EKG on me, and they were doing my blood pressure and monitoring my heart. And I feel so bad because I'm a single mom to a 2-year-old. Hi, sweetheart. So of course she was in the ambulance with me, and she was not scared or anything. They kept everything really, really calm. They were just sitting in front of my house, and they were doing everything. When I asked him what my blood pressure was, he told me he wasn't going to tell me because he doesn't want to worry me. But it was really high, and they seen that my heart rate was very elevated. So the paramedic was like, you should go to the hospital. So they drove me to the hospital. No sirens or anything. I don't even know if they were speeding, or it just kind of seems like a blur now. But again, everything was really calm. I was sitting on the bed in the middle of the ambulance, and we had to get my daughter's car seat. So it was just me and my daughter and the two paramedics in the ambulance. And the paramedic offered to just go get my daughter's car seat for me out of my car, and put her car seat in the ambulance, like on the side where the bench is. And she came with me. Again, everything was really calm, so she wasn't freaked out. She had her special blanket with her. And I felt so bad because I just don't want to worry my little girl. So they did what they did in the ambulance. Like I said, they put, I think they called it a 12 lead on me. Do my blood pressure, everything. They didn't give me any kind of medication in the ambulance. Although on the way there, one of the paramedics did call a doctor, I guess, at the hospital or somewhere, and said everything he did, and asked if he should do anything else. This was while we were on our way to the hospital, and I guess the doctor said no because they didn't do anything else, but they continued to monitor me. And I had called so many people, hoping that somebody could just kind of keep an eye on my daughter, but I wasn't getting anyone. It was like real early in the morning, 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. And so anyways, ended up in the ER, and I seen a resident who said, and I explained everything, and I almost didn't want to talk about my panic because usually whenever I talk about my anxiety disorders, everybody just chalks it up to that, but I wanted to be honest. So I said everything about my anxiety disorders, and they explained exactly what had happened. And the resident doctor said it did not sound like anxiety, and it sounded like SVT. And then the attending doctor came in and also confirmed that. So what they ended up doing, because they were monitoring my heart this whole time in the emergency room, I did not get admitted. I just stayed in the emergency room. I was probably there for 8, 9, 10, 4-ish hours approximately, maybe 3.5. And they monitored my heart the whole time. They were monitoring my blood pressure, and they ended up giving me 2 bags of fluids. There was nothing in it but just saline, but just to make sure I wasn't dehydrated, but they said that this always helps. So they gave me 2 bags of fluids, and they also gave me a dosage of atenolol. Like, it was just an oral pill. They gave it to me in the emergency room. And what atenolol does, it's a beta blocker. And I had been on atenolol before, but I wasn't on any kind of medication whenever I went to the emergency room. But atenolol basically brings down your heart rate and it brings down your blood pressure. So I took it there in the hospital, and then they gave me a prescription for it. And I actually did have somebody, my stepmother actually came down, and she stayed there with me to keep an eye on my little one. So I was happy about that. And my focus the whole time I was there was just to make sure my little one wasn't like worried or think anything bad was happening. And she was fine. They actually ended up giving, because we didn't eat anything, so they ended up giving my daughter breakfast. And yeah, hey, look, it's the life of a single mom. Like, I had to bring her, and she was totally fine. So yeah, the attending doctor and the resident doctor both said it sounded like it was SVT, and to follow up with a cardiologist in a week. As they were discharging me, my heart rate had come down. I think it was in the 90s, and my blood pressure, I have high blood pressure, but it was not sky high like it was whenever I went in the ambulance. So they said go to cardiologist within a week, and I called, I think it was like the next Monday, because I think this happened on a Saturday, and I wasn't able to get into the cardiologist for like 2 or 3 weeks. So had made an appointment to get in, and I kept taking my atenolol the whole time. You love me? I love you. I kept taking my atenolol. I'm so scared to take medications, but the SVT episode was even more scary, so I kept taking it every day. They had me on a real low dose. I think it was just 25 milligrams once a day. And I love you, sweetheart. And I took it. I took it every day. I think I missed like 1 or 2 doses here and there, not on purpose, but I took it. And everybody's different with medications, but oddly enough, it seemed to give me more palpitations, but it did bring my blood pressure down. So that was good. So I did keep taking it. I hated dealing with the palpitations because in my eyes, that's the worst thing. But I was also really scared about the high blood pressure. So like I said, I had taken it. And also, it was only once a day, but I could tell by the end, if I took it in the morning, by the end of the day, I could tell it really wasn't working as well. So yeah. So that is my emergency room. Mwah. Hi, sweetheart. That is my emergency room story. And I'm going to make another video if anybody's interested, and I will talk about my most recent cardiologist appointment and what happened there. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.